On this episode of Outside of the Box, Christine talks with Bryan Hijam about his project studying prostate cancer that got him a finalist spot at the National STEM Challenge.
I came across a lot of different pathways in your immune system that could contribute to immunotherapy. And I developed a list of questions that just kind of popped into my head as I kept reading. I thought that the CD47 SERP alpha pathway was an incredibly promising avenue to test. STEM serves as the foundational pathway to the development of society as a whole. Having youth be able to experience that and be able to contribute to that is so important.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Outside the Box, doing STEM spotlights. And we're talking to another national STEM champion, finalist that's going to be going to the National STEM Festival. And today I have Bryan here to talk about his project, which I'm definitely interested to hear more about. So, Bryan, if you'd just like to briefly introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bryan Hijam, and I'm from Baltimore Polytechnic Institute in Baltimore, Maryland. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, your project targets treating prostate cancer, which, as we know, is one of the most dangerous cancers to men out there. First of all, tell me a little bit more about why you decided this as a project and kind of the beginnings of getting started in the research for it.
So the beginnings of this project were mostly just me kind of trying to figure out what kinds of, I guess, like topics I was interested in. I knew that I wanted to do cancer research, and I knew that prostate cancer was like a leading cause of cancer-related deaths in amongst men and is one of the most detrimental diseases out there. And so I actually did research on a couple different labs that I thought I would be able to join and contribute to their work. And so when I was doing my research, I found a lab. It's called Zarif Lab in Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, and I just asked the principal investigator if we could chat for about 45 minutes over Zoom, just talking about his research. His research was actually on prostate cancer immunotherapy, and I was very eager to learn more. We had a very productive conversation, and at the end of it, he offered me a position at his lab. And since then, I did a lot of literature reviews in the lab based off of the work that they were doing. And I came across a lot of different pathways in your immune system that could contribute to immunotherapy. And I developed a list of questions that just kind of popped into my head as I kept reading. And those kind of served as like the foundation of what I wanted to, I guess, pursue in terms of like my project. And so when I talked over it with my with my principal investigator, he basically gave me a list of the projects that were being done in lab. Obviously, like I can't just propose my own like experiment and have them be able to design that or give me the resources to do that. So I had to pick a project that they were planning on doing. And I picked the one that I thought most closely aligned with the critical thinking questions that I came up with based off of doing literature reviews. And so I thought that the CD47 SERP alpha pathway was an incredibly promising avenue to test. And while there has been research on it in all sorts of forms of cancer, there was very limited research done on it on prostate cancer. There's a little bit, but it's pretty novel in terms of, I guess, prostate cancer immunotherapy. So I thought that was the most exciting and engaging project that I could contribute to.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, I think to me, I'm like, a 12th grader thinking about doing something that's going to help with cancer is amazing. I mean, I think we all know what a horrible disease cancer is, and it affects so many people. But I think that that's great that you wanted to pursue something that could really benefit a large number of people, if this proves to be successful. For you, was there any like, you know, personal tie of why you decided to go down that path or anything? I mean, I know for me personally, I have family members that have, suffered from prostate cancer, or was it just, you saw this as a need and something that you could really do some research on and potentially like come up with a solution?
Well, for one, I definitely have a pretty big history of cancer in my family. Some of it is which is prostate cancer, some of which is um, cardiac related to your heart. There's a lot of heart disease in my family. Um, and so I thought that being able to contribute to any field in medicine, whether it was cancer or whether it was any sort of autoimmune or immune system research, would be the most impactful, not just for me or not just for my family, but just in the world in general. I know that cancer is one of the most prominent diseases out there. And so when I was trying to figure out what my research interests were, that was definitely at the forefront of my site.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how did you feel when you found out that you were selected as a STEM champion? I mean, that had to be really exciting for you.
It was awesome. I think the main part that excited me the most was getting to know that I could, I guess, like put my research out there and have it more accessible to people and have it be able to be shared to um, I guess a large population of people. I think science communication is one of the most important aspects of science as a whole. You can do all sorts of research. You can find these crazy great things, but if you're not sharing it, then there's no way for that to get out there. And that's what was most exciting for me.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Are you looking forward to the STEM festival? I know you're pretty close to where it is. You don't probably don't have too far to travel. But are you excited for this opportunity to meet other young people who are also coming up with these really big ideas and kind of sharing different thoughts that you might have?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think like another thing that I'm super excited about is just getting to meet all these people that have also, taken the initiative to contribute to causes out there and just getting to meet people who like just really smart people who are driven and motivated and just like being able to talk with them, just pick their brain and just maybe make friends. I think that's something that I'm super excited about. And being able to uh I guess network with all sorts of people who might be interested in not just not just my research, but the research that's done by everyone that's there. I think everyone there deserves to be there, and that's going to be something that's super exciting, meeting all these people.
Yes, for sure. And by the way, complete side note, surprise cats are always welcome on this show.
And
So
yeah, this is Mouse. She's looking for some pets right now, so she's probably gonna sit here on my lap for a little bit.
no worries, no worries. Now, you're obviously, getting out of the high school phase and things like that. Is this area of, study and things like that, is this what you want to pursue for a career moving forward, or is that something that you're still trying to decide?
I do know that in terms of general interests, immunotherapy and just things related to immune system and medicine is a pretty big aspect of what I want to do in the future. I'm not so sure that this is the specific field that I'm going to pursue in the future. I think that's something that I'll explore other pathways. Um, I'll explore other things and make a decision based off of what I'm interested in and what I'm really passionate about. Right now, this is great, and this is something that I'm super passionate about. Um, However, things are definitely subject to change, but I love STEM and I love medicine. I think that that's definitely something that's not going to change.
Yeah, for sure. And just I want to talk a little bit more about the importance of STEM in general, because you talked about science communication and the importance of STEM and STEM, as we know, comes in so many forms. It's not just one thing that people think of. People might think of engineering when it comes to STEM, or they might think of, who knows, a bunch of different things, but it presents itself in so many different ways, and there's lots of ways to get involved in that capacity. So just if you want to talk a little bit more about how important it is for young people to have an interest in STEM and to pursue careers in those types of fields because of like the things that are needed to kind of build the future.
Right. I mean, it's definitely super, super important for young people to start getting, I guess, experience with STEM, getting all sorts of opportunities to grow and learn about STEM. I think STEM is absolutely one of the most important things in our I guess society. It's what drives all sorts of change, all sorts of innovations. And obviously some people aren't interested in STEM, and that's completely okay. But for those who are, I think it's really important for them to get access to opportunities like the National STEM Festival. STEM, serves as the foundational pathway to innovation and just the development of society as a whole. And so having like youth be able to experience that and be able to contribute to that is so important. And that sets the tone for the future and sets the tone for contributors as a whole. Everyone can contribute, anyone can contribute. You can be like 7 years old and you can have a discovery. You could be any age, and I think that's super important. That's super cool.
Yeah, it is, and that's a very valid point. Well, I mean, I'm excited for all of you that get to go to this amazing festival and show off your projects and things like that. For those that are watching, I know I've mentioned this, but just if you want to attend the National STEM Festival as a guest, that is something that you can do. There is a day where there will be open to the public, and you can check out these amazing projects like Bryan's and see what the future of the world is doing. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Well, I so appreciate you and thank you for joining me and telling me more about your project. I think it's amazing, and I definitely think that it has the potential to change lives.
Thank you for having me. This is a really cool opportunity.
Absolutely. And if you're watching, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that stuff. We got to get STEM communication out there to everyone. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see everybody next time on the show.